Welcome, beloved soul. I see you here, seeking peace in a restless heart. Let us begin gently, with a truth whispered softly from the heavens. They went looking for love. God sent them back to yours. This is not merely a story of earthly romance, but a sacred movement in the spirit, a divine choreography only God understands. When the world pulls at their hearts, when eyes wander seeking what seems lost, God's hand remains steady, guiding them home, back to the love that is your birthright. There's a holy patience in this, a quiet unfolding of what was always meant to be. You see, love that truly matters is never found by chasing. It arrives in the stillness of surrender, in the deep well of trust that God nurtures within your soul. Even when they try to move on, even when they look away, there is a sacred tether, unseen but unbreakable. God weaves invisible threads between hearts, drawing them back when the world's distractions fade. So if you feel forgotten, if your heart aches with longing, know this: God's plan is far greater than your waiting. They may have tried to fill their emptiness elsewhere, but it was only so they could see more clearly the blessing you are in their life. Love is not a prize to win, but a divine reflection of God's own heart. When God sends them back to yours, it is an invitation to trust deeper, to believe more fully, to hold on to the sacred promise of what is yet to bloom. And you, dear one, are the vessel of that promise. Pause with me now. Breathe in this holy assurance. You are loved beyond measure. As we continue this journey, I invite you to let your heart open to the unfolding grace. If this message brings you peace, consider subscribing to receive more whispers of divine truth, more calm in your seeking. Share your heart in the comments, your reflections, your prayers, your struggles. Here, your soul is safe. And if the Spirit moves you, a humble super thanks helps this message reach other weary souls, allowing peace to ripple outward in waves of light. We walk this path together, held in the embrace of God's unfailing love. Now, let us go deeper. There is a sacred reason why they left, why they wandered, why they chased shadows in the night. Sometimes God allows this, not as punishment, but as a mirror for the soul. To reveal what cannot be seen in the comfort of staying still. To show them the truth, hidden beneath desire, that no other love can replace the one woven into their very being. No distance, no distraction can sever the connection that God planted with care and infinite wisdom. And you, dear one, hold a love that transforms, a love that quietly waits, strong and steady like the ancient mountains. If your heart feels heavy, let it rest here, in this sacred space. Knowing God is rewriting the story in ways you cannot yet see. You are more than enough, more than anyone could deserve. Their wandering is part of the divine dance, leading them back through valleys of doubt, toward the light of your steady soul. And when they return, it will be with eyes clearer than before, with a heart humbled and ready to cherish what was always yours. Remember, love is not earned by struggle, but given freely by God's grace. Hold on to that grace today. If this truth comforts you, please share this message with someone who needs a gentle word today. Let us spread peace in a world so thirsty for it. You are never alone. God's love surrounds you like the air you breathe. And they, too, are caught in this sacred current, drawn back by the divine tide that no one can resist. Trust in this holy return, and rest in the knowledge that your love is a blessing, a gift God is protecting, preparing to reveal at its perfect time. When that moment comes, it will feel like the stars have aligned, like the universe itself is singing a lullaby just for you. So breathe again. Beloved, receive this peace. Know you are deeply cherished, and that no matter where they have been, God's heart is leading them back to yours. May this truth settle softly in your soul. And may your spirit find rest. We will continue together soon. Until then, know you are held, always, unconditionally, eternally. Welcome back, dear heart. Let us return to the sacred truth that gently cradles your weary soul. They went looking for love, but God sent them back to yours. This is not a tale of coincidence or chance. It is a divine orchestration, a spiritual symphony played by God's own hand. In the quiet moments when you wonder if they still remember, when shadows of doubt creep in like the evening mist, remember, God's love is the anchor beneath the waves of uncertainty. They may have stepped away to find something new, to heal old wounds, or simply to grow. And that growth, that healing, is part of the divine design. God does not rush the soul's journey. He does not force love to bloom before its season. Instead, He waits with infinite patience, knowing the perfect moment when hearts are ready to reunite. And you, beloved, are invited to prepare your heart in the meantime. To fill your spirit with peace, to nurture your own sacred light, to trust that God is working even when all feels still. Because when they return, it will not be a return to the old, but to something deeper, more sacred, more whole. It will be a meeting of two souls refined by time, tested by distance, and softened by grace. Hold on to this vision today. If these words bring calm to your heart, please subscribe so more peaceful guidance may find you in your quiet moments. Share your thoughts in the comments, your prayers, your hopes, your fears. This community is a refuge where your spirit can breathe. And if you feel moved to support this message, a humble super thanks allows these words of peace to reach more searching souls, helping light to spread across a world longing for love. We are connected in this sacred work. Now, listen closely. Their journey away was never a denial of you. It was a sacred space where God was working unseen miracles. Sometimes love's greatest test is the distance between two hearts. It stretches faith and softens the edges of pride. It invites humility, invites surrender, invites a deeper knowing that love is not possession, but sacred freedom held within God's hands. Even when they walked away, their soul was tethered to yours by a thread woven of light. God's light, with thread, withstands storms. It outlasts time. It draws them back when their wandering spirit is ready to come home. You may feel invisible now, like your love is waiting in the quiet shadows, but God sees you. God honors your patience, your faith, your willingness to trust the unseen, and He is shaping the path beneath your feet. You are growing into a sanctuary of love, a place where they will find rest, where their soul will recognize the home it has sought all along. Let this be your prayer today. Lord, prepare my heart to receive the love you have destined for me. Give me strength in waiting and peace in the unknown. Amen. If this prayer touches your soul, feel free to share it in the comments or write your own prayer for this sacred return. Remember, this space is your refuge. You are never alone in your waiting. And as we close this moment, let us breathe deeply together. Inhale the promise of God's faithfulness. Exhale the worries that burden your heart. And know this: when God sends them back to you, it is not a second chance at the same old love. It is the unfolding of a new covenant, a sacred bond sealed by grace and divine timing. Trust this holy plan. Hold on to your faith and rest peacefully in God's eternal embrace. Until we meet again, may your heart be light and your spirit full of hope. You are deeply loved, always and forever. Welcome again, dear soul. Thank you for returning to this sacred space where your heart can find rest. Let us return now to the quiet truth whispered by God's own breath. They went looking for love, but God sent them back to yours. This truth is a gentle river, flowing deep beneath the surface of all your longing. It moves quietly but powerfully, reshaping the contours of your hope, softening the sharp edges of your waiting. When they come back to you, it will not be as before. It will not be a return to what was comfortable or familiar, but a reunion of souls made new by the sacred fires of experience. They will come to you with a heart refined, a spirit awakened by the lessons only time and distance can teach. They will come carrying the weight of their journey, the mistakes, the regrets, the growth, all laid down gently at your feet as a gift of humility and truth. In that moment, you will see the divine hand that guided every step, every detour, every quiet night of longing, because God's love is never wasted. No tear is shed without meaning. No heartache without purpose. Everything leads back to you, beloved, because you are the one God chose to walk beside them. You are the answer to prayers whispered in secret, the healing balm for wounds they barely understood. So, as you wait, do not grow weary. Do not lose faith in the silent work of the Spirit. Instead, prepare your heart. Fill it with forgiveness for them and for yourself. Forgiveness is the bridge that will carry you both safely across the river of past pain. Let go of expectations, born from fear or loneliness. Hold only the truth of God's timing, which is perfect beyond understanding. And trust that when they return, it will be a meeting of equals. Two souls ready to build a love that honors the journey they have traveled apart. Remember, dear one, you are more than your waiting. You are not defined by the absence of their presence. You are a radiant being, whole and enough on your own, made beautiful by the love God has already placed within you. Your value is not measured by who stands beside you. Share your reflections and prayers in the comments. Your story matters here, and this space is held in love and safety. If you feel moved, a humble super thanks supports this channel, helping these messages reach more souls who need healing and hope. Together, we build a community of light, a sanctuary for those who seek truth and tenderness. Now, take a deep breath. Let us speak gently of the power of God's divine timing. There's a sacred rhythm to all things, a holy cadence known only to the heart of the Creator. When we try to rush the story, when impatience claws at the edges of faith, we forget that love cannot be forced or hurried. It must unfold in its own time, like a flower opening to the morning sun, slowly, beautifully, intentionally. God's plan for your love is a masterpiece in progress. Every moment, every tear, every hope, woven together with exquisite care. Their time away was not wasted. It was a sacred preparation, a season of growth and healing meant to deepen the love waiting for you both. Sometimes, God allows hearts to wander so they might truly understand what it means to be whole on their own. So that when they return, they come not out of need, but out of fullness, ready to share a love that is abundant and free. And you, beloved, are the vessel of that love. You are the sanctuary where their soul will find rest, the safe harbor after the storm. Do not fear the silence between you. Do not despair in the waiting. Instead, embrace this time as sacred space, an invitation to deepen your trust in God's plan, to grow in your own grace and compassion. Know that with every moment that passes, God's love is wrapping around you both, drawing invisible lines back to one another, connecting your hearts with threads of golden light. If your spirit feels lifted by these words, please share this video with someone who might need this gentle reminder. Let us extend peace like a soft blanket over the world. And remember, you are never alone. God's love is the breath in your lungs, the pulse in your veins, the quiet presence beside you now. They too are being held by this same love, being led back to you by a force greater than all fear. When that moment of return comes, it will be a sacred awakening, a recognition of a love that never truly left. You will look into their eyes and see the journey reflected there, all the roads they traveled, the lessons learned, the hearts healed, and you will know with a deep certainty, this love is eternal, unshakable, divinely ordained. So breathe in this hope now. Dear one, let it fill your soul like the dawn filling the sky, and rest in the peace that passes all understanding. Hold fast to your faith. Keep your heart open, because God is leading them back to you, always, surely, beautifully. May this promise be your song in the quiet hours, your light through the darkest nights. You are cherished beyond words. You are loved beyond measure. And your love story is still being written. by the hand of God, with infinite grace and boundless mercy. Until we meet again, may your spirit be calm, may your hope be renewed, and may your heart know it is deeply, eternally held. Peace be with you. Always. Welcome back, beloved soul, to this sacred space where your heart can breathe, where your spirit can be gently reminded of the truth that never fades. They went looking for love, but God sent them back to yours. This truth is a quiet beacon, guiding you through the nights of longing, lighting the path when all else feels uncertain and unclear. It is a sacred promise, wrapped in divine patience, held tenderly by God's own hand. When they walked away, it may have felt like an ending, a closing door, but in truth, it was the beginning of something far greater, a deeper unfolding of love's true nature. God's love does not rush, does not falter, and does not fail. It waits in silence, soft and steady like the rhythm of the ocean's tide, pulling all things back to the shore. Their journey away was a sacred pilgrimage, a time for their soul to grow, to heal, to become whole. And while you waited, dear one, you too have been growing, transforming into a light that shines brighter with every passing day. This waiting is not a void, but fertile soil where your faith takes root, where your love deepens beyond the surface, reaching into the eternal. If your heart feels heavy today, let it rest here for a moment. Breathe in God's peace. Breathe out all your fears, and remember that every step they took away from you was part of the divine choreography, leading them back to the love only you can give. They were not meant to stay lost, nor to settle for less than what God prepared for them. The detours, the doubts, the distractions, all have served to bring clarity to their soul, to soften their heart, to awaken their spirit to the sacred gift you are. When they return, it will not be a return to the past, but a sacred new beginning, a chapter written with wisdom and grace. And you, dear one, will be the radiant light welcoming them home. If these words bring a gentle peace to your heart, please subscribe to receive more quiet truths to carry you through your days. Share your story in the comments, your prayers, your hopes, your healing. This is a place where your soul is held tenderly and with love. And if you feel moved to support this channel, a humble super thanks allows these messages of peace to reach more souls longing for comfort. Together, we build a sanctuary of light and healing. Now listen closely to this deeper truth. God's timing is perfect, even when it feels slow. Sometimes, we want love to arrive quickly, to fill the emptiness, to quiet the ache of loneliness. But love that is rushed is fragile. Like a bud plucked too early, it cannot fully bloom. God waits, knowing the exact moment when hearts are ready, when souls have been prepared for the depth of connection that only true love can offer. Your love is a sacred flame, held in God's hands like a priceless treasure, and when they return, they will bring the light of their own growth, the warmth of their own healing, to join with yours in a union blessed by heaven. No one can replace the love God designed for you. It is unique, eternal, and unbreakable. So do not lose heart. Do not let fear shadow your hope. You are being prepared, your heart is being strengthened, and your soul is being readied to receive the fullness of this divine love. Let this be your prayer today. Lord, help me to trust your perfect plan. Strengthen my faith in the waiting. Fill my heart with peace and hope. Amen. If this prayer speaks to you, share it in the comments, or write your own prayer for this sacred return. Know that you are not alone. God's love surrounds you like the air you breathe, and they too are being held in this love, being drawn back by a force greater than all doubt or distance. When they come home to you, it will be a moment of sacred reunion, a merging of two souls refined by grace, and your love will shine brighter than ever before. So breathe deeply now. Dear one, let your spirit rest in this promise. Hold on to hope like a precious jewel, and know that God is leading them back to you, surely, beautifully, eternally. May this truth be your comfort through the nights, it fill your days with gentle peace. You are cherished beyond measure. You are loved beyond words. And your love story is still being written by God's hand with infinite patience and boundless grace. Until we meet again, may your heart be steady, your spirit calm, and your faith unshakable. Peace be with you. Always. Welcome again, beloved soul, to this sacred moment where your heart can find rest, where your spirit is gently held by the loving truth. They went looking for love, but God sent them back to yours. This truth is not just words, but a living breath within you, a sacred pulse that beats quietly beneath the surface of your longing. When they walked away, it was not a rejection, nor a closing of the door. It was a divine invitation to growth, to healing, to a deeper understanding of what love truly means. God's love does not abandon. It waits patiently, like the sunrise that always follows the darkest night. Even when the silence feels unbearable, know that God's presence surrounds you, holds you, and weaves a tapestry of hope beneath your feet. Their journey away was part of God's perfect plan, a time for them to see the fullness of their own soul, to find the parts of themselves they lost or forgot, and to return to you whole and ready to love deeply. While you waited, you too have been growing, learning to love yourself more tenderly, to trust in God's timing, and to hold space for the love that is coming. This waiting is sacred, a holy preparation, a sacred refining of your heart's desire. If these words bring peace to your soul, please subscribe to receive more gentle messages that soothe and uplift. Share your reflections in the comments, your prayers, your stories, your hopes. This community is a sanctuary of light and love, and if you feel moved to support this channel, a humble super thanks helps these sacred messages reach more souls in need, spreading peace and hope across the world. Together, we walk this path of faith and healing. Now, listen deeply to this truth. God's love is not a fleeting emotion. It is a steady flame, burning bright through every trial, every tear, every moment of doubt. When they return to you, they will come with a heart softened by experience, with eyes opened by lessons learned, and with a spirit ready to embrace the love only you can give. You are their home. You are the blessing they have been seeking in every other place. And God's plan is to reunite you in a love that is pure, true, and everlasting. Do not despair in the waiting. Do not let Lord, strengthen my heart in the waiting. Fill me with peace, hope, and faith. Prepare me to receive the love you have destined for me. Amen. If this prayer touches your heart, share it in the comments, or write your own prayer for the sacred return of love. Remember, you are not alone. God's love is the constant presence that surrounds you now. They too are being held in this love, being guided gently back to you by a force greater than all fear or doubt. When that day comes, it will be a moment of sacred reunion, a meeting of two souls made whole by grace. Your love story is still unfolding, and it is more beautiful than you can imagine. So breathe deeply. Dear one, let your spirit rest in this promise. Hold fast to hope. And trust that God is leading them back to you, surely, beautifully, eternally. May this truth be your light in the darkest hours. May it fill your heart with peace and joy. Are deeply loved, and your love is a precious gift, held in the hands of the divine. Until we meet again, may your heart be steady, your spirit calm, and your faith unshakable. Peace be with you always. Welcome once again, dear soul, to this sacred space where love and hope are quietly restored. Let us return to the divine truth that embraces your heart. They went looking for love, but God sent them back to yours. This truth is a soft whisper from heaven, a gentle reminder that no matter how far they wander, the thread that binds your hearts remains unbroken, woven with infinite care by God's own hands. When they left, it may have felt like the end of a chapter, a closing of a door that once seemed wide open. But beloved, it was never an ending, only a sacred pause in the divine story being written for you both. God's love moves in mysterious, beautiful ways, sometimes allowing space to grow, sometimes teaching patience through quiet longing. In the stillness of waiting, your spirit is being prepared, refined like gold in the fire, made ready for the arrival of a love that is both tender and fierce. Their journey away was a sacred pilgrimage, a time for them to find themselves, to heal the parts hidden beneath fear and pain, to come back whole, ready to love with a new depth and understanding. And you, dear one, have also been growing, learning to stand strong in your own light, discovering the power of your own sacred worth, becoming a beacon of hope, peace, and grace. This waiting is not empty. It is full of sacred meaning, full of unseen blessings gently falling like rain upon your soul. If these words bring calm and comfort, I invite you to subscribe, to receive more messages of peace and divine guidance, to remind you that you are never truly alone. Share your thoughts, your prayers, your journey in the comments below. This community is a sacred circle of love and healing, a refuge where your soul is embraced with tenderness. And if your heart feels moved, a humble super thanks helps these sacred messages reach more weary souls, spreading light and love. Through this quiet sanctuary. Together, we walk this path of faith and hope. Now, listen with an open heart. God's timing is perfect, even when it feels slow, even when the waiting stretches longer than your soul can bear. Sometimes, the greatest love stories are those written in the silence, in the spaces between breaths, in the sacred pauses where growth happens unseen. Your love is not diminished by absence. It is strengthened. It is prepared to shine brighter than ever before. When they return, it will not be as before. It will be a love transformed by grace, a union blessed by the trials and triumphs of the journey. They will come to you with a heart humbled by life, with eyes opened by the truth only time can reveal, with a spirit ready to cherish the gift you have always been. You are their destined home, the one their soul sought through every twist and turn. No matter how far they strayed, God's love has been the invisible thread pulling them back, drawing them nearer with every passing day. So hold on to hope, beloved. Let it be the light that guides you through the darkest nights. Trust that God's plan for your love is unfolding perfectly. Even if the path is not yet clear to your eyes, let your heart rest in this sacred promise. They are coming back to you, whole, healed, and ready to love deeply. Let this be your prayer today. Lord, give me strength in the waiting. Fill my heart with peace and unwavering faith. Prepare me to receive the love you have destined for me, a love that honors the journey and the growth within us, both. Amen. If this prayer speaks to your soul, please share it in the comments or write your own prayer for this holy return. Know that you are held in the arms of divine love, and they are being held too, being led back to you by a grace that knows no limits. When that day arrives, it will be a sacred reunion, a beautiful merging of two souls made whole by God's gentle hand. Your love story is still being written, a story of faith, hope, and divine timing. So breathe deeply now, dear one. Let this truth settle softly within your soul. Hold fast to hope. And trust that God is leading them back to you, surely, beautifully, eternally. May this sacred promise be your strength, your comfort, and your peace. You are deeply loved. You are cherished beyond measure. And your love story is held in the hands of the divine, forever unfolding in grace, patience, and infinite love. Until we meet again, may your heart be steady, your spirit calm, and your faith unshakable. Peace be with you always. Welcome back, beloved soul, to this sacred moment of stillness, where your heart is invited to rest deeply in the gentle truth. They went looking for love, but God sent them back to yours. This truth is a balm for the weary spirit, a quiet promise whispered in the spaces between your breaths, an invitation to trust in the divine weaving of your story. Though the waiting may have felt endless, and the ache of absence like a shadow that lingers, know this: the thread connecting Your hearts has never been broken. God's love is the invisible hand that holds you both, guiding you through every detour, every moment of doubt, every silent prayer whispered in the dark. When they left, it was not a rejection of your worth, nor a closing of the door on what was sacred. It was instead a holy pause, a sacred interlude where souls grow apart so they might grow together anew. God's timing is perfect, even when it feels slow, even when the heart longs for a quicker answer. In this waiting, you are being prepared, refined like precious gold in the fires of grace. Your soul is growing stronger, more radiant, more rooted in the deep soil of faith and hope. Their journey was also a sacred pilgrimage, a time for them to rediscover themselves, to heal wounds they may not have known were there, to return to you whole, ready to love with a depth only trials can birth. Remember, dear one, that love is never a destination, but a journey, sometimes winding, sometimes steep, always purposeful and guided by divine wisdom. You are not forgotten in this story. You are not left waiting in vain. You are a radiant light, a beacon calling them home, even when they cannot yet see the path. Let this truth settle softly in your heart today. If these words bring you comfort, please subscribe to receive more sacred messages to soothe your spirit. Share your reflections, your prayers, your hopes in the comments below. This is a place of tenderness and healing, where your soul's voice is heard and cherished. If you feel moved, a humble super thanks helps these peaceful words reach other weary hearts, spreading light and love through this sacred space. Together, we create a sanctuary of grace. Now, let us breathe deeply and listen to this truth. God's love is steadfast and unwavering. It does not falter with time, does not weaken with distance, and never fades in the face of uncertainty. It is a fire that burns bright through every night, a steady pulse beneath the rhythm of your days. When they return to you, they will bring with them a heart softened by life's lessons, a spirit awakened by grace, and a love renewed with purpose and clarity. They will come not because they have nowhere else to go, but because their soul recognizes the sacred home you have always been. You are the answer to prayers they whispered in silence, the healing balm for wounds they carried unseen. No matter how far they strayed, God's love has been the tether drawing them back, pulling them gently toward the truth of your union. So hold tightly to hope. Dear one, let it be the lantern guiding you through the shadows of doubt. Trust that God's plan for your love is unfolding perfectly, even if the path is hidden from your eyes today. Let your heart rest in this promise. They are coming back to you whole, healed, and ready to love with a new depth. Let this be your prayer today. Lord, grant me patience in the waiting. Fill me with peace that surpasses all understanding. Strengthen my faith and prepare my heart for the love you have destined for me. Amen. If this prayer resonates, please share it in the comments, or offer your own prayer for this sacred reunion. Know that you are cradled in the arms of divine love, and they are cradled there too, being led gently back to you by a love that transcends all fears and doubts. When that blessed day arrives, it will be a sacred reunion, a merging of two souls made whole through God's grace. Your love story is far from over. It is still being written, a masterpiece of faith, hope, and divine timing. So breathe deeply now, beloved. Let this truth rest quietly in your soul. Hold fast to hope and faith. And trust that God is leading them back to you, surely, beautifully, eternally. May this sacred promise be your strength through the nights, your comfort through the days, and your light. And your love story is held forever in the hands of the divine, unfolding with infinite grace, patience, and mercy. Until we meet again, may your heart be steady, your spirit calm, and your faith unshakable. Peace and blessings be with you always. Welcome back, dear soul, to this sacred moment of peace and gentle truth, where your heart is invited to rest deeply in the comforting knowledge they went looking for love, but God sent them back to yours. This truth is not just a phrase, but a living, breathing promise, woven by God's own hands into the very fabric of your story. When they walked away, when the distance stretched between your hearts like a vast ocean, it was never because your love was not enough, nor because your soul was undeserving. It was because God's plan for you both is far greater than the fleeting moments of human understanding can grasp. Every step they took away from you was part of a sacred journey, a pilgrimage of the heart, meant to lead them back to the love they have always sought, the love only you can give. There's a divine rhythm to all things, a sacred cadence orchestrated by the Creator. Sometimes the soul must wander, must explore the world outside itself, to learn what it means to be whole, to understand the depths of love it is truly capable of. You, beloved, are that sacred home, that safe harbor waiting patiently for the return of a heart that recognizes its truest resting place. The waiting, as difficult as it feels, is not an empty void. It is fertile ground where faith is planted, hope takes root, and love is nurtured to blossom anew. You are not broken by this waiting. You are not diminished by the silence. You are becoming radiant with the quiet power of a soul refined by grace, a spirit deepened by patience, and a heart filled with divine light. If these words bring calm to your weary heart, please subscribe to receive more sacred messages that soothe your spirit and light your path. Share your reflections and prayers in the comments below, for this community is a sanctuary of love and understanding, a place where your soul's voice is cherished and heard. And if your heart feels moved, a humble, super thanks allows these peaceful words to reach more souls, spreading healing and hope far beyond this moment. Together, we create a circle of light that embraces all who seek the gentle truth of God's love. Now, take a deep breath with me, dear one. Listen deeply to this truth. God's love is unchanging, steadfast through every season of your life, a fire that burns bright even in the darkest nights. It is the invisible thread binding your souls, unseen but unbreakable. When they come back to you, they will come transformed, with a heart softened by life's trials, eyes opened by the wisdom only time can bring, and a spirit awakened to the sacred gift that you have always been. They will return not because they have nowhere else to go, but because their soul recognizes the home they have been searching for, the home that is you. No matter how far they roamed, God's love has been the tether pulling them gently back, drawing them nearer with every silent prayer, every quiet longing in the depths of night. So, dear one, hold tightly to hope. Let it be your lantern in the shadows, your anchor in the storms. Trust fully in God's perfect timing, even when the path seems hidden and unclear. Know this deep within your soul, they are coming back to you, whole, healed, and ready to love you with a depth and clarity that only the journey could bring. Let this be your prayer today. Lord, grant me patience in the waiting, peace in the uncertainty, and faith that does not waver. Prepare my heart to receive the love you have destined for me, a love grounded in grace and truth. Amen. If this prayer speaks to your soul, please share it in the comments, or offer your own prayer for this sacred reunion. Know that you are held tenderly in the arms of divine love, and they are held there too, being gently guided back to you by a grace greater than all fear, doubt, or distance. When that blessed moment arrives, it will be a sacred reunion, a beautiful merging of two souls made whole through God's mercy and love. Your love story is far from over. It is still unfolding, a masterpiece of faith, hope, and divine timing. So breathe deeply now, beloved. Let this truth settle softly in your heart and soul. Hold fast to hope and trust. And know that God is leading them back to you, surely, beautifully, eternally. May this sacred promise be your strength in the quiet hours, your comfort through the days, and your light in every moment of waiting. You are deeply loved. You are cherished beyond all measure. And your love story is forever held in the hands of the divine, unfolding with infinite patience, grace, and mercy. Until we meet again, May your heart be steady, your spirit calm, and your faith unshakable. Peace and blessings be with you, always.